Hey, Gary Dobbs here with Gary Dobbs Consulting. I want to thank you for joining and taking us up on this offer. Like we had just said in the page before, you are going to get a consultation walkthrough on how to create a customer avatar for your business. So whether you're a business to business or business to consumer type of company, we're going to help you create your avatar. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this customer avatar worksheet is that we promised. Below this video, you're going to see a link to download this avatar sheet, so go ahead and do that now. And you're going to be able to go ahead and fill this in as we work along. So if you need to pause it before so you can set it up and get into where you can edit it or print it out, however you want to do that, go ahead and do that now. But we're going to go ahead and get started and start working on this avatar sheet. All right. So hopefully you got that ready. So here's a brief overview of what we're going to be looking at today. You can see the avatar sheet. It's got some pretty detailed information about people. These are ideal customers, customer avatars, customer profiles. These are the things that you're going to create in marketing. They're going to tell you about the audience that you're trying to market to and sell your solutions to. So right down the middle is just personal information about them: age, their gender, are they married, do they have kids, where do they live, maybe a favorite quote they have or a couple of them, their work, what do they do for a living, income, and their education status. But what's really important is how we can capture this information on the sides. So you can see when you're going to message your product and you use this, maybe you want to start running your own Facebook ads. You want to start really a great way to run your ads is to just basically identify the problems first and make sure you maybe identify the problems that people face with other customer products, competitor products, I mean. And two is then you want to see, well, what's the solution? You know, what transformation are you providing to them? And basically, your marketing message is that bridge. You're trying to bridge them from the problems and the pains they're experiencing now. So we're going to go through and identify some challenges and problems or pains that your customer is experiencing, the objections and conditions they might have to the sale. We'll cover that, and their goals. What are some goals that they have when it comes to shopping the solutions that you provide? Are there some values that they carry that kind of dictate how and who they purchase from? And then some source information is just some more personal information about them, so we can get to know, well, what do these people like to read? Maybe we can communicate with them better. Websites they use, maybe we know where to advertise to them. Live events maybe that they go to so that we can market to them when they're at those live events, or are there any public figures they follow? We really want to get to know things like that because we're always thinking about how we can use this in our communications and to improve our messaging. So let's get right into the video and see how this will work for you. Oh, I like this, the raw egg test. Oh, nice. Cool. All right, so as you can see right away, they showed you the test. They're using a raw egg test to compare their solution to others in the market. So you can see they pass, right? They pass the flying colors. Obviously, that's why they designed their product and test they're using. But she identified that there's three other options people have when they're out searching for mattresses, right? So right away, they're identifying who their competition is and maybe what their audience is experiencing when they're going out and shopping for mattresses. So if we go into our customer avatar sheet and we look at what are some problems that they might face, you can hear she had mentioned that there are three. There's the 3-amp mattresses, and she had gone into the hard mattress. Let's go ahead and finish watching that. All right, so you could hear she's identified two, right? The hard mattress, which people have the problems, the pains of arthritis, and the soft mattress, which also gives people chronic pains. So she's identifying problems with the other options people have in the market. So I have a sheet where I had gone through and filled these answers out. And this is how you're going to try to think about it, what you want to try to look for when you're doing this for your business. Right? Like, who are your competitors? What other options do your customers have in the market that that you're not offering, or that you provided a better solution for because you realize you have something better, and that's why you started this business in the first place, right? So you can see some of these answers. I've got the hard mattresses. The problem is arthritis. Soft mattresses, the problems are chronic back pain. And medium mattresses, which she's going to go into. I'll show you that in a minute, but I've already created my responses to that. And I'm doing this to speed along for you. You remember, you can pause this video at any time to keep up for yourself. But you can see here that the medium mattresses are bad for back support and pressure points. So they're showing like what people need to consider when they're going out and shopping for a mattress, right? So we want to identify the problems that there are with the other mattresses, problems that people want to avoid, and the problems they have that they're trying to get rid of, right? So you need to make sure your solution not only doesn't create these problems for them, but is going to take these problems away. So let's go in here and finish this part where she goes through the different mattresses. Ah. Ah, okay. Oh, geez. All right, that's definitely getting complicated, right? Yeah, you see, so they're showing how complicated it's getting, right? And if it really is that complicated, show it. Show it in your ads, show it in your messaging that you understand how complicated it is just to shop for a quality mattress out in the market. So we know some of the challenges are too many options. We know, what else? You know, it's complicated. You got these mattresses with control settings. You know, like, give me a break. It's like it seems like it's getting a little ridiculous on buying a mattress. It's just getting, these mattresses I think are getting away from the simple and elegant, easy design product. Definitely, if I was in the mattress business and I was selling something, I'm not going to sell something that seems way high-tech and complicated to use for most people. It's probably going to end up just breaking and costing people a lot more money. As you can see in the video, they're going to go over like how expensive those mattresses are. Did she do that already? I don't think so. But she goes over in the video how expensive those things are. There you go. And sorry on the video recording if it's choppy and not giving you a good playback of the ad I'm running, but you can see the address in the ad I'm running, so at any time you can go and watch the full video on YouTube if you like. Yeah, but you can see she went over that. So another thing the product offers is it's way more affordable, right? So we can go in here now. We can start looking at some goals. So they're starting to identify some goals that the customers are going to have. So if I go over to the goal side, I'm just going to copy from my other pre-filled out sheet. They're showing that they've got a comfortable mattress, right? It's affordable. It's also something that's pretty simple to use. This is not rocket science here, even though they had a rocket science created, right? And so now we can start going through and covering, well, what are some of the objections, right? We know some of the goals, gone and covered the challenges and the problems that they have. What are the objections people are going to have to buying your solution? So we want to make sure we cover that too here in the avatar. What would this person say? Well, this bed's too soft, this bed's too hard. You know, it's Goldilocks, right? She's out. She had just broken into this house and eaten their porridge for free and broken a chair. Now she's trying to find somewhere to take a nap. So you can see that we need to cover what those objections are going to be, right? And then the sale, whether they're verbally doing it or not, if they're thinking about it or verbally communicating with you, the customer is going to have objections, right? Like they're also going to have conditions. Well, if I'm going to buy this, then this is Goldilocks, so this bed's going to be free because she doesn't pay for anything, and she's also going to have some free porridge maybe to eat bed, right? Oh, thief. All right. So we want to cover, you can go through and cover some more objections and more conditions in your sheet, but I think you get the idea. That's when you're trying to ask for the sale. You want to be able to know what those objections are so you can overcome them. Know what those conditions are so you can meet them and be able to provide some value to them and sell your products or sell your solution. So if we go back and we're thinking about a sale, well, what are some values that this person might have when they're buying a bed? Well, in the Goldilocks case, it's take what you want because she comes from probably a family of thieves, right? So, and after robbing, getting into the bear's house and eating their porridge and breaking their chairs and getting chased to run off, she probably realized that, hey, you know what? I need to start creating some allies and not enemies. So maybe she's learned a value from that lesson, right? We want to try to identify these things and think through like your customer's experience about what's going on. So that's why it's good I'm using this ad about Goldilocks, because it's not only just talking about the product, but they're using a story behind it. And if you can ever incorporate a story into your messaging and how you're trying to do communicating, it's going to make it a lot easier because you can start getting more specific. You can start having a lot more fun. You can be more humorous in ads like this company Purple had used in their advertising. So let's go on, right? So we've got now the challenges to the problems, objections, and conditions filled out, the goals, some goals done, and some values that are going to dictate the purchase. Well, let's talk about this person individual, right? Like, who is this Goldilocks? Maybe she's 30 to 35. It's definitely female. And relationships. Well, probably single. She has nothing better to do than to go roam the forest and just break into people's houses, right? Well, she doesn't have any kids with her, so it's safe to say she's got no kids. Where does Goldilocks live? Right? Probably anywhere, any forest in America. So let's go and put that. But if you would know the locations of who your ideal customers are, you want to put that right there. You can go by regions or cities, states, whatever works best for your business. For pivot quotes, so when you're trying to do a little bit of research, find out about these individuals, you might want to start finding places you would go, or maybe websites that might have information already about who you're trying to sell to. So we would just go in here and I would say, well, Goldilocks. Yeah. Let's get some quotes about Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? I'm going to try to think, what's their frame of thinking? Like, what are some quotes they might have? This is where I came in and I already had taken a quote here, but this is how I did it. And I'm going to go ahead and just paste it because I already have it filled out on my other sheet. All right, so I'm going to put that right there. And this is a funny one. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. No one ever questions why Papa Bear and Mama Bear sleep in separate beds. But what was going on in that marriage? More backstories needed, right? That's just the famous quote by Jim Gaffigan, a famous comedian. But so you can see how, like, you know, having a story and some context behind it really helps us to get to know or know what's missing or know what's included. Now, what's the occupation here? Well, it's not really much of an occupation. But I guess you could say she's some sort of a damsel in distress. Does Goldilocks have a job title? Yes, it is a thief. Right? Annual income, probably just whenever she, fruits and nuts that she grabs in the forest. Oh, yeah, and porridge, right? So she just get paid in food, basically. Education, we don't know, like, much. So we can probably assume that she's been homeschooled, and because you know she lives out in the forest, what kind of schooling do they have out there, right? Just the hard knocks life. And then we can put in some more information about education down here. Might put like if they'd reached high school or college, maybe there's some trade certifications or licenses that they might have. We can put them down here if we're thinking of a specific professional like a doctor or something like that. All right, let's go down. Now let's go down over to books and those items, right? We want to know some more sources of information about this stuff. So I don't know if a book, but we can think of probably if there is a magazine for thieves, maybe the Life of Thieves, right? What's a website that this avatar person would go to? Well, if they're a thief and they need to go find abandoned homes, maybe they can use Facebook to monitor people going on vacation so they can find some empty houses, right? And what kind of events would Goldilocks be involved in? Well, we know in the story that in the end, when she gets found sleeping in the little bear's bed, she wakes up, panics, jumps out the window, and runs away, right? So she cannot be caught. So it seems like she's definitely a runner, probably involved in some marathons. Those bears aren't catching her anytime soon. And then who are some public figures that Goldilocks is probably going to follow? The Big Bad Wolf, right? I don't think that would be a role model for her. Who else do we have? Probably the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. See, so you get the idea. We're trying to relate to them and find, get to know this person, what this person would read, what kind of information they're interested in, and that's it. You can see I filled out my sheet. You can go through and complete more of yours, but remember the videos here. You can search for this. You can search for this title on YouTube if you want to actually go through and play the video from front to end, because I know the recording on here wasn't smooth on the video playback, so apologize about that. But as you can see, I use that to help kind of create an avatar for the Goldilocks and shopping for a mattress, right? So she would actually go out and pay for one for herself. But you can see for yourself kind of how you can, how you're going to fill out these areas. So the whole point of this was to give you an example on how to think through and what these fields are for and what kind of information we're looking for when you fill them out. Most businesses probably don't have these, so now that you've rated one, congratulations. You're well ahead of most business owners in America. You're well on your way to capturing more sales and defining your marketing. So if you ever need help, you want to improve your marketing, increase your sales, and increase your productivity with software tools, reach out to us here at Gary Dobbs Consulting. We're glad that you had joined us, and we hope that you had saw that sheet and downloaded it from this webpage. And there's going to be an offer below, so if you'd like to reach out maybe get some more help with either of those areas, we're going to have an offer below that you can reach out to us and find a way to work with us. But there you are. We promise to give you a free consultation and help in creating your own avatar. You can replay the video again a couple more times if you want to create maybe 2 or 3 avatars for your business. We hope that helps, and we look forward to working with you, and take care.